Assalamu alaikum, sir. This is Muhammad Saiful Islam before you. My ID number is 151266768. First of all, I would like to thank my honorable teacher for giving me such opportunity to present my presentation. The topic of my presentation is the process of migration in Australia. Now welcome to my presentation session. In this presentation, I would play a role like a prominent immigration lawyer and suggest my client what types of requirement to be fulfilled to apply Australia permanent residency. Australia is one of the best country to apply permanent residency visa. It has designed various visa categories to offer permanent residency to the selected candidates. To apply for the permanent residency visa, one need to follow a point-based immigration system. What are the requirements for Australia permanent residency? The first one is arrangement of the key document. First of all, the applicant shall have to arrange the key document to apply for the permanent residency in Australia. The applicant would require two main documents and the English language proficiency test result (IELTS) and skill assessment report by a relevant assessing authority. Some other relevant document must be submitted by the applicant in case of such purpose. And first one is passport of primary applicant as well as dependent must be included in the application. The applicant needs to provide a copy of birth certificate. A recent passport size photograph of all applicant needs to be submitted. The applicant requires to provide the copies of all qualification. Copy of the courses also needs to be included and to provide the document submitted for skill assessment as well. If the applicant is married, he or she needs to provide the marriage certificate. If anyone in the application is divorced or widow, provide essential divorce paper or death certificate, etc. The person needs to provide the evidence of claimed score against the point test when he or she submitted the expression of interest. If the children are included in this application, the person requires to provide the birth certificate for all children. If one of the parents of a child below 18 years is not included in application, need to provide the evidence of parental custody of the child. Evidence of skilled employment or self-employment in the past, reference contract, pay slip, tax return or any group certificate is to be submitted. Now, finally, the applicant must attach the duly filed appropriate application form as per permanent residency visa category. And the second stage is choose appropriate visa. The applicant requires to choose permanent residency visa. The most common permanent residency visa categories are non-sponsored visa, state-nominated visa, and employer-nominated visa. The third stage is select an occupation from skilled occupation list. Once the relevant visa is chosen, the applicant needs to select an occupation from the skilled occupation list. If anyone applies for non-sponsored visa, he or she needs to select the occupation from the SOL of Australia. Whereas anyone apply for state-nominated visa, he or she needs to select an occupation from skilled occupation list, that particular Australian state. Fourth stage is apply in point-based system. Once all the above things are done, it's time to apply in the point-based system. The applicant needs to submit the expression of interest in the online skill select system of Australia, his or her key profile details like age, education, work experience, language ability, etc. The applicant score must be at least 60 points to apply through the system. Fifth stage is health and character requirement. The applicant must meet the health and character requirements. The person needs to provide relevant certification as well. Now, application needs to wait for the response from authorities. If applicant profile is selected, the person will get invite to apply for desired visa. The accurately filed application along with essential document to the immigration office within 60 days of invitation received. Now, what are the key benefits of permanent residency in Australia? A permanent resident can live or work in Australia and indefinitely. And a permanent resident has the allocation or is allowed to live and enter Australia frequently within the initial period of 5 years, and after that it can be transformed. After spending initial years on permanent residency status, one can apply for citizenship. Permanent residents enjoy many rights and privileges just like an Australian citizen. And permanent resident can sponsor his or her relatives to Australia. Children born inside Australia will be considered as Australian citizen by birth. Now, by maintaining all the above criteria, a Bangladeshi citizen can get the permanent residency in Australia. If anyone miss any key information or fail to provide a vital document, it may lead to unnecessary wastage of time and delay in processing of your visa. That's all my presentation. Thanks for being with me.